Oh boy, Coast. That doesn't sound good. How you feeling today? I'm not sick, but my back is absolutely fried. We got like 4 or 5 inches of snow, and now it's turning to rain. I'm supposed to get like 2 inches of rain, so I tried my best to clear as much of the stuff out as I could, and I'm worried about it's supposed to be pretty heavy rain from about 4 to 7 o'clock tonight, so I'm kind of worried about possible flooding. So I figured I'd pop on here for a little bit, see what you guys are up to, and then likely I'll have to go back outside and clear some more. No food for 24 hours, that sucks. I was planning on going outside, not outside, but planning on going in the garage because oddly enough, at like 7 o'clock tonight, around there, 7, 8 o'clock, it's supposed to be like 50 degrees, and then it's gonna get colder again. But my back just can't handle it. It is sore right now. Even standing here kind of hurts. And unfortunately, a lot of that shoveling movement is similar to kind of golf swing movement. Hey, what's up, uneven par, Boogeyman Bill? Shoveled a foot of snow this morning. More's coming. Yeah, we have just getting rain here for now. Snow later this week. I was just saying we had 4 to 5 inches of snow between last night and today, or last night and this morning. So I went out there this morning for like 2 hours, and it was already starting to turn over to rain. So it was super heavy, super slushy. I was trying to clear enough to where the water has a place to drain, and now it's going to get up to like 50 degrees, but there's going to be like 2 inches of rain, which generally speaking isn't like that crazy amount, but with like a foot of snow on the ground on top of like all the gutters being clogged with 4 to 5 inches that we got, the rain and the water just has nowhere to go. So I'm kind of worried about like the basement flooding, but we'll see. Cross that bridge when we get there. I'm gonna have to go out there again, probably at about 5 o'clock, and try to clear. I'm hoping that some of this warmer weather. It's so crazy how it's been like 20 degrees for the past few weeks. Yesterday was like 20 degrees. Today's gonna get up to 50 by tonight, and then it's literally gonna go back down to like 20 degrees tomorrow. So if I don't clear the rest of it that I didn't do earlier, by the time tomorrow morning comes, or even like midnight tonight, it's gonna all be frozen again. Better be rewarded with a beautiful spring. I hope so. And I think it's either Tuesday or Wednesday. We have another 5 to 8 inches coming. I mean, it's really good exercise, but man, is it tiring. I was saying my lower body, or my lower back rather, and like that same like shoveling movement, and then like either pushing the snow or throwing the snow. That's like the same motion as swinging. So like my back and my right like obliques just don't have any rest in between any of this. Oh, I have the hiccups. I do, however, have the final round of the Genesis Open here on my phone, and as long as the basement doesn't flood, I'll consider it a good day. do me a favor, guys, and hit the like button. I hate asking for it, but I think it does help. If it was up to me, I would just go live and it wouldn't matter. But I think there is. Oh man, these hiccups are killing me. I think there is a correlation between what I've been seeing lately, the amount of likes and then the amount of like exposure and how much push YouTube has for these videos and live streams. Ah. I feel like lately with all this snow, and going out there in the morning, by the time like noontime comes around, I'm already like exhausted. Rory and Scotty are playing together. Hopefully it results in higher swing speeds. We'll see. What's up, PJG? How's it going? At work, the course is closed. We're taking phone calls. You guys still have snow on the ground, or no? Just a short video on our lakes finally being full again. Actually overflowing now. Yeah, it seems to be the case. I was looking up. There was pretty. They called it deadly, but pretty substantial. I think one person unfortunately passed away in Kentucky. There's been some areas with some pretty substantial flooding. That's what I was saying earlier too. I'm worried about the 2 inches of rain coming in the next few hours with nowhere for it to go, and the ground with a foot of snow on it and completely saturated already. Walk across the dry bed. Yeah, it seems like it's rarely there's no in between. It's either way too much water or not enough water. There's never just like it seems like maybe we just take it for granted and we don't notice it, but it seems like I mean between like California and all that craziness and like it just seems like in general it's either way too wet or way too dry. What's up, Aussie golfer? I was planning on going in the garage and hitting some balls, but I just don't. After shoveling for a couple hours, that super wet, heavy slush snow, I just don't have the energy for it. 6-12 on Wednesday. This will suck indeed. Indeed. I think that's the same day. I was looking at the extended forecast. I think Wednesday here as well. We're supposed to get 5 to 8. I think they were calling for. But I feel like every time I look, they change it and they don't know. Even the rain today, like originally they said like 1 to 3 inches, and then it was like 2 inches, and then yesterday it was like rainfall may reach an inch, and now it's back up to 1 to 2 inches with uh locally heavy rainfall possible. It says. So I mean, who knows? It all depends on the bands that come through, I guess. Too much rain and snow for me. Glad I left VA. I'm live. You haven't seen no pre-recorded putting streams that I'm aware of. Black Cloud in the house. You got a couple members here. Do me a favor, guys. Hit the like button on the video. Again, I hate asking for it, but apparently it's the way that YouTube works. I'll do a deal with you guys. For every like on the video, I'll put one into the small hole. What are we up to right now? We have 2 likes. Come on. You have to ask people to do it, I know. Unfortunately. Oh, there's 9 on your screen. Maybe mine didn't update. Let me see. Yeah, I see 8 now. With this cold, I'm sorry I didn't go visit my sister in Oakland. All right, we'll hit 10 putts on the small hole for good measure. This might take a while. All right, it's 1, 2. Who's gonna win today? I don't know. I have it on right now on my phone. Rogers in first place right now, 8 under. Then McCarthy at 7 under. Aberg at 6 under. And then there's like 5 people tied for 4th at 4 under. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Scotty's 3 under. Could be. I mean, if Scotty has a good round and shoots like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6 under, possibly. I have YouTube TV, so I have it up with I have a headphone or a wireless earbud in. I mean, you can never rule Scotty out. He was kind of playing though. I was watching most of yesterday. He was kind of Aberg. He was playing kind of unconventional Scotty golf. Like he was missing a lot of fairways, hitting kind of some wayward shots. I was saying yesterday, I'm kind of going down the path of somewhat copying Tommy Fleetwood's swing. So I wouldn't mind seeing him win. He's up there. And they said yesterday, you watching Scotty's group? Yeah, it's Scotty and McIlroy, right? They said yesterday on the broadcast that Fleetwood has never won on the PGA Tour, which I kind of found interesting. They said he had 8 DP World Tour wins or whatever, but he's never won on the PGA Tour somehow. Yeah, I didn't know that, Black Cloud. I found that interesting. They said that yesterday. You bet Dietrich to finish top 20? Right now he's 3 from the cellar. He was up there, wasn't he? Was he the leader after day 1 or 2 or something like that, Dietrich? You never know with these guys. Some of the like not as common names that haven't. Oh, he won last week. Is that what it was? Um, some of these guys that aren't as like big household names, you never know if some of the pressure final day they're up there on the leaderboard. You don't know how they're going to handle it. I feel like someone like Scotty could make a charge. Even Rory. I mean, Rory's kind of there too, but um, any of these guys that have done it before versus some of these guys probably have little to no tour wins. They may end up having the pressure get to them possibly. Spawn picks a fool in the forehead in the crowd. Someone who works for ESPN, really? Those guys are crazy. I mean, if I'm going to, I get that those are pros. We were talking about that with the good thing. They were spraying them all over the place, and those people were way too close. Even though they're pros, I mean, I'm not standing with a right-handed golfer. I'm not standing like 10, 20 yards off the tee or wherever they're hitting from, right to the right. If they shank one, I'm not being anywhere near that. I'm sure that guy he probably came up long or something, but still, mistakes happen. I'm not trying to lose my teeth because one of these pros hit a shank. That's the advantage of the pros who've won 4 or 5 times. You know the pressure. You know, it can go close to the top. Yeah, I agree. I like hanging around the greens. I've never been to one. Did you guys see yesterday? Bryson hit a shot. He was on like someone's like balcony at like a house. He was up there. People were like going crazy up on the balcony or the deck, whatever it was. Group before Scotty started, hit the guy in the forehead. And they couldn't find it. And landed on the golf cart he was in. Jeez, I have to go to a pro event. It's amazing. One day. Been to a dozen or so. Worked the President's Cup in 2000. Was in Virginia. Was at the Masters for one day in 2025. That's pretty sweet. I was bragging the other day, PJG. I came in second on Wednesday with your trivia show, which I would consider a good performance. I was leading there for a while, and 2015, not 25. I was gonna say, I thought you meant last year, maybe. Go to a practice venue, you have to watch. If you go to a pro venue, you have to watch practice rounds. You watch the driving range and then walk around. Those guys are animals the way they fly the ball. Yeah, I mean, I was maybe the questions were a little bit easier, but I was taking guesses, and I happened to get some of them right. Um, anyone know what McElroy's new ball is? He's a TaylorMade guy, so I don't know if he's always playing TaylorMade balls or not, or if he's one of those guys like Tiger's a TaylorMade guy, but he plays a Bridgestone. They had him mic'd up yesterday on one of the holes, and the announcer like kind of like teed him up and was like, "Hey, I heard you switched to a new ball with more spin," and he talked about it for like 2 minutes, but then he never said what the ball was. I'm kind of curious what he switched over to. Dustin's on fire 2 weeks in a row. He's going for a three-peat this week. Is it, did he? So he, I guess he won then. I don't really tune into the live stuff. I just saw that highlight with Bryson. Oh, you're at the showdown in Vegas? That's pretty sweet. Just saw him hit a shot. Have to see if I can see the ball where it is. TP5X. Oh, okay, that's kind of what I figured. Toast. Because the TP5, I was looking into those when I bought the Pix balls for the square. Um, the uh, the TP5X is a little bit firmer. You get a little bit more distance out of it, but the TP5 spins a little bit more. So that's what Rory was saying. He said it was forcing him to hit more like three-quarter shots, especially with wedges. Um, but I wasn't sure if he maybe was like a tailor-made club guy, but then would use like a Pro V1 or whatever, or another ball. But I kind of feel like that was part of like the deal of having Rory being mic'd up, walking to his next shot on one of those holes about asking about his equipment. And the announcer did his job asking him, and then Rory talked about it, but then he never said what it was. You like Bridgestone? I must say, I am a fan now of these of the or not these. I'm not playing them right now, but in the garage, the TP5s, the picks. Next door neighbor's going to Florida late today. Snowstorm out. They leave. You get to golf down there all week. I'm jealous. Also, I use what I find. Yeah, exactly. That's what my bag is just all. I try to take out the real crappy ones, but my bag is just all mixed balls from what I found. I only I only buy balls for the simulator because I don't lose them. Yep, birdie on two for Scotty. 4 under, tied for fourth with Cantlay, Finau, someone else. They just changed it. I'm telling you, I want to be surprised. I don't know if he'll end up winning, but I wouldn't be surprised if Scotty ends up second or third place by the end of this if he has a good round. I mean, not out of question. Rogers, who's 8 under in first, if he goes like drops a couple strokes and Scotty picks a couple up, they're right there. Any ball I find on course, I put in my junk ball bucket. Use them in the yard to chip with. I take the bad ones to the range before the rounds. That way I don't pay for the balls to hit. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, I have like 3 5-gallon buckets worth of balls. I think I was talking about that, but when you first start off, you're like, all right, I need to find as many as I can. And I went through a period of like stocking them all up. I'm like, all right, I'll be good for balls for a while, but then I got a little bit better. And now most of the time I leave the course with more than I lose, luckily. But now I have a bunch kind of all stacked up. Practice with the balls you play with is worth the money to buy an extra dozen to practice with. People have said that. That's a good idea. Practice with the balls that you actually play with, so you get the same distance, spin, feel, all that type of stuff. Hoping to play tomorrow, but it's a holiday. Just putting and chipping. Had an entire 5-gallon bucket of balls. Hit them with the range ones. Found out courses don't care if you do that. Well, I mean, they definitely don't care. I'm sure people sometimes take some of the range balls, so they're probably happy you're donating balls to them. They probably love it if people did that. Why would courses care though? Wouldn't they? You would think they would invite that. And try to catch a person a day in my course. Are you talking about taking balls, or they're basically Black Clouds? He's saying he's donating balls to the range. Oh, they're not getting revenue? I mean, I guess, but they're getting balls. Unless Black Cloud's running out there to get to take them back after. I don't think he is. Personally, I've never brought my own balls to the range. Oh wow, you have signs up saying don't hit your own balls? I didn't know that was that big of a thing. I mean, I get it if you have half your customers, but I mean, I don't know anyone personally that do that. So I would assume that's probably like 1% of everyone that goes to the range are bringing their own balls. I wouldn't imagine that's a widespread problem, but yeah, I figured you weren't running out there to get them, Black Cloud. Junk balls you don't want back. What's up, Celeste? Celeste was in here last night. Yeah, of course, does gain golf balls from people hitting them. They just want revenue from the range balls. Well, like I said, right now you're not getting 100 people, but if you say on average, say 100 people go to the range, there's got to be only five or less of people like Black Cloud that are actually doing it. So they're getting revenue. If you take 100 people on average, you're getting revenue from 95, if not 96, 97, 98 people, 99 people. And then someone like Black Cloud shows up and they get some balls out of it. So I feel like that's almost a worthy trade-off as long as everyone doesn't do it. $9 a bucket. That's relatively reasonable. Is that a large or a small? Do I want to hear a joke? Sure. Some range balls reduce distance so you can't hit them over the fence. One course that gives me tokens to hit balls before the round. Treats their veterans well. That's nice. Well, rain's coming down pretty good. I figure if I do have any issues with flooding, it'll be later on this afternoon and or tonight once all the rain is kind of down and if the water table comes up that much. So kind of have it in the back of my mind. I kind of like want to possibly go check, but I don't think it'll probably be an issue until hopefully it's not an issue at all, but another few hours if anything does start to come in. Small bucket, 40 balls, it counts them. I was cleaning the car with a friend and he told me just use a sponge. A lot of courses include range balls. It seems like that's private courses though. Like if you have a membership, then yeah, because you're paying for it anyways. But all the courses that I go to that are public, you got to pay for all of them. I don't get the joke, Celeste. Scotty for another birdie. And oh, we just missed. Tap in par. You know how high fence around there? There's hundreds of balls in the woods. Going once or twice a year to pick them up. I only use the range before a round to warm up. Figure what kind of shot I'm working on for that day. Can't just hop out of the cart. car and golf. Some people do that. I need to warm my body. Yeah, I'm getting to the point. I'm more definitely more so like I usually don't hit balls first, but I try to like do a couple like warm up type of stretches where like I'm holding the club over my head or whatever and kind of loosening up a little bit. But I mean, some people the only way they play is if they get there like 45 minutes early and go through like a whole routine. I just try to loosen up so I don't hurt myself. Some do include cart, range balls, green fees. I actually like that. That's nice. I mean, you're paying for it one way or the other. So whether it's included or not, you're either paying extra for it or you're paying more in the first place. Really? No discount for walking? They want you in carts? Around here, it's right about $10 per side for a cart. So $10, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes upwards towards like $12 to $15, but usually it's about $10 per side. So $10 for 9, $20 for 18 for a cart. You just watched a short on YouTube and they asked the pros what a 15 handicap would shoot at Augusta. What was the consensus? Quiz here don't ever include balls or carts. You gotta pay for everything. Well, because I'm not paying $12 to $15 for a cart. Some courses are in development and hike between holes. You hit a few on the sim to warm up pre-round. It's got to be if it's close though, right? If you're driving a half an hour to a course, I don't know how. I feel like you probably cooled down by the time you did that toast. New Mexico doesn't include cart charges more than. Plus, I walk the course. I'm paying $50. I'm gonna take my sweet time. I'm not rushing through it. Lucky to break 100, they said. Potomac Shores, Jack Nicklaus design, 1.3 miles. That's crazy. There's a couple holes like that, couple courses like that down in Florida where I go, where it seems like it's like a half a mile in between uh, the green to the next tee box. Of course, I play is around 35 for a round and cart in the afternoon. Morning costs more. That's not too bad. I mean, some of the courses that I like playing, they're upwards of like, if you go on the weekend, especially in the morning, you're paying probably 65, $70 for 18 with a cart. Beast of a course. Sorry, man. Why are you sorry, Panda? You're at a dance party? Sounds fun. I was getting free golf at Army Navy. Neighbor is snowballing. Text her I'm not doing it until the snow stops. No point in wasting gas. They didn't lay it out well. No hoser on the river. The views at the clubhouse. Hop on next stream. We'll be rocking out. Sounds good. She's just bored. I know her by now. Yeah, like I said, I got to get back out there. Um, I probably did about half of it. Just my back was shot, and I'm hoping that this warmer weather that's coming through and this rain is gonna wash a lot of what I didn't do away, and then I'll try to just push the rest out of the way in another what time is it? 2 o'clock, probably about 5, another 3 hours maybe. I'm gonna get soaked again, but I'll leave a like. Thanks. Catch you later. Cheers. See you, PJG and Panda. We'll see how long I stay on myself. Like I said, wanted to get out there, and I was planning on 62 here today. Too wet to be out and about. That's pretty warm. Yeah, it was gonna get up to 50 degrees or like 48, 49 by like it's weird how it's like it was still like 20 degrees this morning, and then when I was out there it was like 30 something, and then it's like slowly getting warmer. I think it's gonna top out at about 7, 8 p.m. It's gonna be like 50 degrees and then go back down. Kind of weird weather. How come golf companies always advertise new driver every year instead of advertise what really makes the club head? The shafts. You need a new shaft to gain yards. Um, because a lot of times those more expensive shafts are not made by the actual companies themselves, and it's probably cheaper, and they can mark up the heads more than the shafts, I would assume. Like I don't know, like Fujikura, that's like a bigger company. I don't know if one of like TaylorMade or Titleist or Callaway owns them, but if people are upgrading their shaft, usually they're going for a bigger name, and I don't know if those companies own those shaft manufacturers. Autoflex shaft is a grand. Korean technology is crazy good. Yeah, people rave about that kind of stuff, especially with like Strixon, Mizuno, those type of clubs too. Just like the craftsmanship. I compared the new XX10 driver to my Cobra 2 years old. Mine was better. They say on average, um, if you hit it dead center out of the middle, you're going to gain about 1 yard per year from club head to club head. So like all the companies keep coming out with drivers every year, and on average, you look at the PGA Tour averages for the distances. Love your Mizuno irons. I think that's what Seadrum has too. You look at the PGA Tour averages where they're all using um, the latest and greatest brand new drivers every single year from marketing perspective, and they're for the most part hitting it right out of the middle. But on average, you go back over the past like 15, 20 years, it's only about a yard per year. Where you will see a difference is though is dispersion. If you give it like 3 to 5 years, the technology is getting better and better to where if you mishit it all over the face, like most of us do, you'll probably see some better performance from dispersion. MP25 and their mint. One of those like MCs. Cleveland wedges are a year old. I swear by my the Amazon wedges that I have. Unfortunately, I can't use them in the simulator or at least in the garage because they're forged and they're milled with sharp grooves, so they literally tear the cover off the ball. But to me, I don't know if I'll ever buy expensive wedges when I can get those on Amazon, which they are in fact milled and forged. They were like $30 a piece. Um, Wedges are something you wanna buy newer ones too, so the grooves are nice and sharp every couple of years. So to me, if I can get 3 of them for 150, or buy like a Vokey or a TaylorMade or a Cleveland for 150, I'd much rather go cheaper and get them brand new every couple of years. Dynamic Gold 95 gram regular shafts. Yeah, KBS regular shafts. Yeah, I know what you're saying. My when I ship back my 5 iron last week for TaylorMade. Um, Again, I mean TaylorMade customer service. I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with them. I don't know if all the companies are similar, but I mean it was less than like a 10-minute phone call. They got my information. They sent me a prepaid label, and that should be back. I would assume sometime this week. But um, they were asking what I have. I have Dynamic Gold, extra stiff. I think they're 105 grams. They're like VSS something in my irons. Tensai, stiff with your driver and 3-wood. Yeah, I've heard of Tensai before. So I'm kind of the opposite way. I have extra stiff in my irons, and then my hybrid 3-wood and driver are stiff. We were talking about that though, how from manufacturer to manufacturer, their definition and their standards for like regular stiff and extra stiff, they're all different. So one company may be stiff and like a similar shaft in another company may be extra stiff or somewhere along those lines. I think the best way you can do it apples to apples is usually the gram the gram weight. Those are usually a better way you can compare. Heavy shaft. Yeah, it's not like torque stiff heavy, but it is on the heavier side. I mean, they're extra stiff. So, really that's the only way. Generally speaking, you're going to see regular flex. I mean, obviously it goes like ladies, senior, regular, stiff, extra stiff, and then like tour stiff. But the biggest thing you'll see is just the weight of the shafts because it's just more material, so it's gonna be stiffer for the most part. Although they do make like I've seen some like stiff flex shafts that are lighter than others and whatnot, but I think to me, I would say heavy for me from what I've seen is probably closer to like 110, 115, 120. Like 120 gram shaft, that's really heavy. I think they're definitely extra stiff, but I don't think they're like on like the crazy end of extra stiff. And I didn't know as well, when I got my irons and when I was looking at those wedges that I ended up buying, um, I didn't originally know that pretty much all wedges they have wedge flex, which is similar to stiff flex. So essentially, every wedge that you get is essentially stiff flex. Jumbo by Golf Pride. That's one thing I was curious about messing around with, making making my grips a little bit bigger. I was looking at a little bit the ones that Bryson uses, but those are like I think they're like 15, $20 per grip for every single club in your bag. It's kind of expensive. Jumbo Max, to see the difference. That's what it was, Bryson's Jumbo Max. They have their lineup is all weird though. They have like small, extra small, which are still massive, and then it's like their lineup of their different size grips are all like backwards. I don't know the best way to try it out though. Like you can't just change one iron because then it's all going to be messed up. So like, I think like the only way to try one would be like a 7 iron on my old set maybe. But even that, you're tearing off the previous grip that you have on it. So you can't just go really put that thing back on. So I don't know. I feel like grips, if you're going to change, it's kind of all or nothing. Unless they have one in a store, I guess. But even that, you can't hit it 5 times and be like, all right, yep, definitely doing it. Tony Finau's swing is so crazy. 17 Jumbo Max grip on Amazon. So I would do 12 clubs. Yeah, exactly. It's not cheap. That's kind of a big commitment to make. I was looking at their website. They have a couple different versions. I can't remember exactly the one that. Yeah, crazy prices for a grip. It's expensive. Likely, what I would do is I would go. The thing is, too, with me, I wear the two gloves all the time, so the grip doesn't matter as much to people that either have only one glove or no gloves. To me, like I don't really feel the grip much, anyways. So I'm not. I don't really need to. Some people they do grips like every year or two. Um, my grip can be pretty brittle and falling apart, and it doesn't matter as much with the two gloves. But likely, if I do it, what I would do is I would probably do those jumbo golf pride like Black Cloud has first, and then from there I would probably make a jump bigger if I like those. Take my 7 iron, put the jumbo on, tested it for a week because I installed them to my entire bag. Best thing I ever done. It's not the grip I'm feeling, it's the size, very noticeable from regular size to jumbo. 85 gram Tour Light +4, no taper grips. Yeah, it's so I mean it's so personal what everyone likes. I bought my iron set that I have. I bought it like new on eBay, but they do have, from what I can tell, they're standard grips, but they have a couple extra layers of tape underneath, so they are a little bit thicker, which I can feel. Yeah, I don't doubt it, Black Cloud. I don't think it's for everyone though. I've heard some people. I was looking at some reviews of that stuff, and if you go too big on them, some people they just. I think a lot of it's based on your hand size too. But some people go too big and they have a tough time squaring the club face back up if they go too big. I want some of his man's wearing Crocs unacceptable. These are my putting Crocs. I guess you would be disappointed to know then I have like 8 pairs of Crocs. Seems like the rain has somewhat stopped for now. Yeah, definitely science. What works for you might not work for you, vice versa. Exactly. And I mean, at the end of the day, for the most part, the clubs are kind of the clubs, and you hit them the way you hit them. So like doing stuff like that with grips, yeah, it'll help, but you're making more minimal differences in my opinion. Like which all that stuff starts to add up. But the same thing changing your ball out one for the other. I feel like it's kind of a more minimal type of gain and improvement type of thing than like transforming your game from like a 20 handicap to like a 5 just because of like a ball change or a grip. But that's just me. All-Star game? Is that today? I shoveled for like 2 hours earlier, and now it's raining. It's supposed to get like 2 inches of snow. I gotta go back out in a couple hours and shovel some more. But I do have. I've been hearing people. Some people say the Genesis Open. Other people it says Genesis Invitational. Either way, I have the Genesis on my phone over here. I'm watching the third round coverage, and I think at 3 p.m. So like another 50 minutes. I think it goes over to CBS. 2:15 is the tee time for the final pairing. Say it ain't so. 8. Yeah, I think I have two pairs of these white ones. I have the same thing, two pairs of the black ones like this with the holes, and then I have so that's four, two, four. I have two pairs of black closed toe ones, and then I have a red pair, and I have uh, a blue pair, I believe, unless I'm missing any. Yeah, Tiger's on property. I saw that. I saw that earlier. He was walking around. He was talking to Rory on the range before. He's gonna greet the winner, I guess. Oh, it's at 8 p.m. tonight. Honestly, I probably won't be watching that. What do you think? What's the over under on that score? Like, don't they usually score like 175 points each? All they don't they play literally zero defense. Not that there's a whole lot of defense going on these days, anyways, but literally zero defense, and they just jack up threes and they take wide open layups. Completely forgot about TGL this week. I did not watch that. I'm wondering they'll probably do something for Tiger when he goes back to play TGL again, I would assume. That wasn't that long ago. That was like last week or the week before. Tiger's mom was there, and he said it was like the second or third week maybe that Tiger played. And he said like, "Hey mom, I promise not to suck this week" or something like that. And she was in the stands or in the box or whatever. Oh, Scheffler just made another 5 under for Scheffler. He's three back. I'm telling you guys, Scotty's making a charge. Oh, he chipped in. He chipped in from like 8, 10 yards. Nice and sunny here in New Orleans. So you live in New Orleans and you're still there traveling. They changed the format this year. It's a four team tournament. Really? I guess I'm out of the loop. Didn't they do? Wasn't it last year? They put more money on the line to try to make them try harder. So they did like 250 grand or something per player or whatever it was for the winning team. They thought it would make it more competitive. I don't know. All-Star games are jokes. The home run derby used to be interesting, and the dunk contest in the NBA used to be interesting, but even those are downhill now. Like NFL is terrible. Um, they went to flag football now, and even the NBA. I don't know. It's just not the same as it used to be. Broke the players into three teams. Four teams, the winner of the Rising Stars. We played on Friday, so there's four teams. First team to 40 wins. Huh. All right. Patrick Rogers going off. Final group here. 2:15 on the dot. I'm in New England, Northeast. Snow country. Some winters are worse than others. We don't get as much snow as like Black Cloud does, or Uneven Par up in Canada. But there has been a decent amount of snow so far this year, and there's more coming. And it sucks with these crazy changes in weather between like getting a little bit warmer with slush and rain and whatnot. It's one thing if it's just like light fluffy snow and you get a lot of it consistently because you can just deal with that. But it goes from when it like melts and then freezes and then turns to ice and then gets warmer again and then it snows more. It's a mess. See so many aquariums around the world. Crap didn't work, so they blew it up this year. Nothing is the same. Nothing's like it used to be. I agree. Not that it's really supposed to be, but I feel like some things, like the days of the Michael Jordans of the world competing in dunk contests, is just not going to happen. Like I don't think LeBron's never been in one, right? Like you just don't get those guys don't want to get hurt. Same thing with the Olympics too. Some of those teams, I don't know. Yeah, I'm watching it. Either you're typing behind or you're behind on your what you're watching on your feed, Black Cloud. 'Cause they just teed off and Scotty chipped in. That was like a couple minutes ago. Going to the sports bar to watch. $3 beers? That's a good deal. There's a place around here that does, I think, something like that. Two or $3 beers on Thursdays, I think it is, for like Bud Light, and then their like in-house beer. At least that's what it used to be. Who knows now with inflation? It's probably like $4 a beer, but you're not behind. You're typing on your phone, so it's ESPN Plus, so it's live. You're behind, Black Cloud. Figure it out. Joke's on you, Black Cloud. This is pre-recorded. Yeah, I wish I don't watch enough to know. Like, I don't watch enough PGA Tour golf to know who's like who's like streaking, who's like on a hot run, who's trending higher, who's trending lower, type of thing. It's tough betting on them, but you can kind of tell from week to week if you consistently follow him. You can say, all right, this guy's climbing up on the leaderboard from week to week. He may have a chance of winning, something like that. Um, you can kind of see a trend in people's games sometimes. Then you get those random people that pop up out of nowhere. Bad putt from Dunlop there. I think I'm going to make the early prediction and say Scotty ends up in a playoff by the end of this, tied for first place. I like watching groupings because there's two golfers instead of jumping around. When it jumps around, I get bad anxiety for some reason. Well, you wouldn't like live then because that's all they do is jump around. Daytona 500 was today. Yeah, I'm not watching that. Bunch of left turns. Three golfers in the group. Sometimes they get messed up too. Sometimes with weather and whatnot and start time. Sometimes they group them up either more or less too. You still here for another couple weeks? Yeah, exactly. NASCAR's boring. I'd rather watch paint dry. Paint dry or paint dry? That's what some people say about golf. But if you, which you guys, I would assume, would concur, you play enough and you start working on your game and trying to grind to get better, you can really admire how good these guys are in the shots that they pull off. Literally, like shot after shot after shot are near perfect. Obviously, they still make mistakes, but their ability to recover and like have like pinpoint accuracy like they do, it's nuts. Can't watch Live anymore. Constant rave music gives me a headache. What kind of paint? Matte or glossy? F1 racing's where it's at, fun to watch. I got into a little bit. I think I watched like the first 2 seasons of that Netflix series. Those guys are nuts. They're going like 150 miles an hour, like hairpin turns. We got some racing controversy going on here. I'll settle this. All racing is boring. How's that? Ooh, McCarthy just put it into the bunker. I do wish that to me it's always the most exciting when these final days you have a bunch of people towards the top that are all tied and it goes to a playoff. The playoff holes are the best. It kind of brings some when you get that match play format going, some like anxiety and some or not anxiety, but kind of some anticipation, some hype around it. To me, it's almost kind of anticlimactic when some person just wins outright. It'd be cool if they kind of like they what they do for almost like the FedEx Cup week to week. If they narrowed it down and like the end of the day you have like a foursome uh, to where they're all competing head to head or something, kind of like a NCAA bracket. Been F1 as well. F1's like Super Bowl every week, big show. Whoever's in the lead, lights out, way they go. 98% of the time wins. Quarter mile at the tracks are fun to watch. Tesla's dog muscle cars, funny to see. Protest Tesla. I've been in a Tesla the one time, but those things are nuts with like the instant torque and the instant power. Those 0 to 60 times are crazy. IndyCar, you have lots of passing, aggressive moves. You know who will win. You get tired of Hamlin winning every week. Max Verstappen. I only really know those guys because I watched, like I said, that Netflix series for like 2 seasons. S model Tesla, you got up to 160, maybe even faster. Don't want to push it too much. Michael S every week. Problem with motor racing is the team with the most amount of money always wins. And you have from nice Crocs, thanks, Drum. You have that issue too. I was seeing that was part of the series where sometimes you have teammates, so sometimes some guys kind of like let the other teammate win. It's kind of weak. Got a couple Croc haters in here today. Best footwear known to man. Red Bull wins every week. Mercedes before Ferrari before that. Oh, look, it's the anti-Pro TVX guy in the house. I mean, Seedrum. Little do you know, he was over there figuring out his order for a Pro T. Can't we all just get along here? All right, McCarthy out of the bunker. Pretty good shot. Got to keep him guessing. Believe that when I see it. Don't encourage croc behavior. McNeely making a charge. Hates the Pro T. Origin story of Crocs? I feel like I have, but I don't know. You asking that, I don't think I know that off the top of my head. If you want to educate us. I feel like I looked into it as I was collecting my 8 pairs. Wear Sharks, knockoff of Crocs. You get them from Walmart for $12. Uh, you're doing yourself a disservice. That's why I usually buy two at a time because they go on sale every once in a while for like 15, $20 a pair. You got to get the originals. Black Cloud's over there with knockoff Crocs. Costume designer was told to make the dumbest looking shoe that the characters in Idiocracy would wear in the future. I don't know about that. Is that true? $60 for Crocs. I've never paid $60 for Crocs. No, I haven't seen it. I mean, the story tracks. Sounds about right. Frugal with my money, I don't need Crocs. Buying the name, not the product. I don't know. I think they kind of have it figured out with the proprietary type of material. I mean, there's a reason why like I used to work in a kitchen, which is why I started getting them back in like high school and college. There's a reason why like nurses and chefs and people that are on their feet all day long, a lot of those people wear Crocs. They are pretty awesome. And I was watching a YouTube short the other day. A lady was in her car and she was like, "I swore that I would never be a Croc person. I hated them." And then one of my friends that loved Crocs got me a pair. They were a camo pair, and she was like, they sat in my closet for about 6 months, and then one day I went out and did gardening, and I put them on, and now she was in her car going to like the grocery store. She said now she can't stop wearing them. Well, yeah, if you're buying them full price, I get mine for like $20 when they go on sale. We can tell. E2, that's even worse. There's a reason those are on sale. Maybe I gotta buy Seedrum a pair of Crocs, and then he'll finally know. He'll be the same thing. He's over here talking crap about Crocs. Oh, I'll never wear them. Don't even bother. Uh, I'll burn those things. And then one day he'll be like, you know what? I'm just walking around the house today, designing courses. Maybe I'll toss the Crocs on, and then give it a couple hours, and you'll be you'll be locked in. You'll be sold to the Croc lifestyle. Real men don't wear Crocs or anything Crocish. I will say, real men don't put those stupid gibbet things on their Crocs. No gibbets. But Crocs with socks is the ultimate. That's the go-to move right there. Crocs with socks. Huge germaphobe, refused to walk in the YMCA locker room barefoot. They're actually antimicrobial too. They don't smell, and they're super easy to wash and clean. Never pick up a pair of Crocs that stink. It's something with the material. Furry Ugg boots like a real man. That's like Tom Brady. Remember he was used to he got a deal with Uggs back in the day, and he was trying to get men to start wearing Uggs. Tom Brady, the goat. Croc-ish is when they're not in sport mode. Uggs is worse. No sport mode over here. That's a rare occasion. Rare occasion when I toss them in all-terrain 4x4 off-road sport mode. It's got to be something special for that. That's gross. Or you could take my advice, Black Cloud, like I was telling you, and get a pair of those power block dumbbells and then just shower in your own house and not deal with mold in people's funky showers in the gym. Seadrum, I got Replica Ridge coming out for you tomorrow. Be sure to tune in for that. Ooh, Rory's got a tough shot. Just use the pool and jacuzzi and sauna at the YMCA after my workouts. All right, see you, Biz. Dude's got a bunch of tabs open over there. This rain and snowstorm really threw off my plans. I was looking forward to going back out in the garage. I was gonna work on driver again, I think. I was gonna play 18 holes and then work on driver again. But we'll see. I may be out there tomorrow, maybe. Seven inches of snow on Tuesday. Who was PJG was saying that too. He said like what 6 to 12 or something like that. I have 5 to 8 inches coming on Wednesday, I think it is, either Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah, Black Cloud. I'm not gonna look that up. That doesn't sound good. Isn't there some kind of study where people's phones have tons and tons of bacteria on them from like going out in public and going to the bathroom and not washing their phone? Don't people's like iPhones have like a crazy amount of bacteria on it? 7 inches of snow over there though in hillbilly country. That's a lot. Are you guys part of that where same thing in like California where it rains so little in California, people just don't know how to deal with it and don't know how to drive? Like same thing in Florida when it happens to snow. Are you guys the same thing where people are just gonna freak out? Like 7 inches is a good amount, but two-wheel drive cars aren't gonna do too well. People use the restroom, don't wash their hands, go touch weights. ATMs have the highest bacteria count. Sound like a germaphobe over there, Black Cloud. Mine has some sketchy YouTube golf streamers on it. Can't seem to get rid of it. That's a real infection right there. No amount of Lysol can get rid of those people. Do a little bit, but not crazy. Most people have trucks. They have equipment to clear roads. It's not a huge deal. That's not too bad then. I'm in a little bit of precarious situation. I was talking about it before, but there's already been like probably a foot of snow on the ground, and then we got 4 or 5 inches between last night and this morning, and now we have 2 inches of rain coming. It's supposed to stop around 7 p.m. tonight, but the problem is with all that snow on the ground, there's nowhere for any of the water to go, and everything's so saturated. I'm kind of worried about some possible flooding situations, which would suck. But I was out there for like 2 hours, destroying my lower back, trying to clear some stuff for the water to go with that slush snow. And I gotta do more at like 5 o'clock tonight. After your deployment, you're never been the same person. They shake with their left hands. Found out because they wiped their. Don't have TP. Permanently changed you. 20 years old in 2003. Thought you were gonna say you got your back blown out. Wasn't gonna judge. Well, I did, but it was by snow and shoveling. So, hey, different strokes for different folks. For me, it was getting blown out by shoveling in snow. Other people like you, maybe a different situation, but do you see that cyberbullying? Good luck. Did you see the that Twitter post I sent you, Drum? McGolfin TV was showing that. I don't know where he found it. He just kind of find some stuff on Twitter. They were showing that on their stream. There was some little girl playing Jurassic Park in the simulator. Thought you may find that interesting. That must be nice when you spend a bunch of time designing something and then you see like random people out there on the internet finding some enjoyment out of the thing that you created. It must be kind of cool. You've seen Jurassic on some TikTok, someone showing off their sim too. That's funny. You ever comment and just say like you're welcome? You did? That's funny. Sketchy course. I will say I don't think I'm much of a germaphobe, but like someone like Black Cow in here saying all that stuff. Once I get to thinking about it, I have some of those tendencies. If I really go full blown into Tommy Fleetwood's swing, I think he may become my new favorite golfer to watch on tour. Oh, really? No, no, you don't. Do you really? You open doors with your shirt? That's a little bit. That's like Howie Mandel status, where he doesn't even shake people's hands, where he gives them a fist pump. Do you get sick a lot? Isn't it like the people that are more adverse to germs and stuff, your immune system gets kind of weakened because you're not exposing yourself to as much of that crazy stuff? I feel like there's almost some benefit to get a bunch of bacteria all over the place so your immune system works better. That was a big thing around the COVID era. Can someone explain to me how yesterday there was like 50 people in here watching me putt with no one saying anything, and now there's like a bunch of messages going in here today. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I think that's how it goes. Sickest thing I've ever seen. When I was in college, I went to the bathroom, washed my hands, walked out, go to the cafeteria. He was shaking a guy's hand, eating a sub for lunch. Hey, he's just trying to boost up that other guy's immune system. You're saying you guys wash your hands? I'm just kidding. Bad tell the kid he didn't wash his hands. Wonder how long it'll take me to get my 5-iron back. Hoping sometime this week. Maybe mid to late this week. I don't remember which day I shipped it. I want to say it was around Wednesday last week. So I would assume it's probably in California right now or close to it. 5 weeks? No way. They said in the like the instruction email with the prepaid label, they said generally speaking 1 to 2 weeks. Last time I did that and I had an issue with the Hosel and the ferrule coming apart, it was like a week. They turned it around really quick. I was thinking, I'm kind of hoping that they like lose my 5-iron or like break it or something, and then send me a whole new set of clubs. That'd be pretty sweet. I did tell them to be careful because it is part of a combo set, so I told them to, if they could, check the loft when they get it and make sure that the loft matches when they send it back. Hosel and the ferrule I have in my clubs when I went to where I bought them. I fixed them right there. Yeah, I mean all they do, they just heat up the head, they take it off, and they just re-epoxy it. I don't know. That was the other day. I don't know if that 5-iron was like that or slowly getting like that, but it seemed like I hit two super heavy, and then there was a slight little gap in between the ferrule and the hosel. So I don't know if it was the ferrule that was slipping down or the head of the club starting to come off slightly. But I just called and said, hey, I don't want this thing to go flying and either hurt me or someone else. So they're like, oh yeah, no problem. We'll just send it back. We'll repair it, just re-epoxy it and send it back. But like I was saying, I'm on the East Coast over here, and I had to send it. Their headquarters are in Carlsbad, California, so it's gonna go all the way across the country there and on the way back. I should have just sent it to Seadrum. Glue stick. I don't swing hard enough to break elbows anyways. Hey, someone was in. Toast was in here before. He was impressed with. He was saying I play a heavy shaft because my swing is so ridiculously fast. Believe it or not, Seadrum, I do have extra stiff shafts in my irons. 105 grams. Dynamic Gold 105 VVS or something like that. Whatever that stands for. I think they're S. Or not S taper, money taper or something like that. It's costing me then? Maybe. I think what's costing me is it being 30 degrees out there and being bundled up. I will say my set that's down in Florida is just regular stiff instead of extra stiff, and I was losing a lot more to the left when I was down there. You hit stiff irons? Yeah, it's because you're a little weakling. What gram? What's the weight of them? Probably like 95, 100. Or I guess it could still be 105. I don't think, from what I looked up, I don't think mine are crazy, crazy heavy. Isn't the general consensus if the staffs, or the shafts rather, not staffs, if the shafts are too flexible, meaning like you have a relatively quick swing and you're playing like regular flex, that you're going to overcook and hook everything left? And if they're too stiff for you, they're going to be weak and low and to the right because you don't have the speed to kind of square the club face up and like have that whip factor. Nippon Pro 115. So they're 10 grams heavier. We were talking about that before though. Black Cloud was saying that how certain manufacturers, their definitions and their lineup of stiff versus extra stiff or whatever, or their categorization of them are different from company to company. So the fact that mine are 105 and yours are 115s and mine are extra stiff and yours are stiff, that same makeup of a shaft would probably be extra stiff and like dynamic gold, I would think. 115 is pretty heavy. Yeah, but they're only the long guy. They're using like senior or ladies flex or like amateur flex. They're doing that just so they can maximize their speed, but that's why they're all over the place. I didn't know that either. I assumed that all those guys were using like extra, extra, extra stiff, but it does make sense that they're using a more whippy shaft to generate more speed. Maybe that's what I need to do in my pursuit for 165 ball speed. Maybe I need to buy a ladies flex driver. They don't use whippy for creating spin. They have super low loft, super high angle of attack. Another birdie for Scotty. Don't they just use, I thought they used you can only carry like 260. I thought the whole point of them of using a super flexible shaft was because if they're able to, it's tougher to time up, but when they can time it up, it generates a lot more whip coming through. Knuckleball floater. I will say though, my driver, my 3-wood, and my hybrid are stiff, not extra stiff. I think I have 2 extra stiff shafts though. One of them came, one of them came with my old driver that I cracked the face on, so I have that. And then another one came with when TaylorMade, when I sent that back, they sent me a brand new Stealth 2 Plus, and they sent me a extra stiff shaft with that as well. It's the Black Smoke or whatever. Use Whippy to gain more club head speed. It's coming from one of the pros himself. Watch him on YouTube explain it. Let's help with that, which is half the point for a slower swinger. The other half is creating spin. Martin Borgmeyer, you're saying? Yeah, exactly. They're not cut to women's. I mean, they're longer. They're what, 48-inch drivers or something like that. But yeah, I know what you're saying with the women's or even like senior. They don't have the speed to get the ball up in the air. That's where I got Martin Borgmeyer. I was watching. That's where I got the whole collider thing from. I saw him doing that, and apparently that guy that commented didn't like it. But I typed out. I sent it to CJ. I typed out my response. I didn't end up setting it. I replied to him and said, whatever his name was, Jonathan or whatever. I said, sending you, sending you well wishes, and he replied and said, LOL. So I tried to kill him with kindness. It's crazy. They were saying here, this Denny McCarthy guy and then the Rogers guy, how they were saying like shorter off the tee. They're still hitting it like 175 ball speed off the tee, but when you compare it to someone like Rory, who's up towards like 190, I guess it's true. But I don't know in what world 175 ball speed is a shorter hitter. I guess besides the tour, but still above tour average. What's tour average? High 160s, low 170s. You're probably right around tour average. 171. Not the only thing you're a little short of. Brian Harmon. Well, you got to figure too. If 171 is the average, you got guys like Rory that are bringing that average way up. So if you look at more of like the median versus the average, the median's probably way lower than that because you got some people like even Joel Damon doesn't hit it that far. He's like 155 ish ball speed from what I've seen. Um, you got guys like Rory out there and that nap kid or whatever that are bringing that average way up. So if you looked at more of, I guess, like I was saying, like the median of all the tour pros, it's probably like 160, 165. Ouch. And don't be coming in here with all your slander and nonsense, C-Drum, and don't expect to get some of it back. A little bully. If you were talking to my belly button, I'd be upset. How's the air? How's the air up there? Alright, I think I'm gonna wrap this up. Coverage is gonna move over to CBS here at 3 o'clock, and I gotta go think about blowing my back out some more with some more shoveling. Go check, make sure nothing's underwater. We'll see. I mean, I was planning on hitting shots, and the fact that it's gonna get up to like 50 degrees by like 7, 8 o'clock, which is pretty rare. It doesn't happen. But 2 hours of shoveling heavy snow earlier, and plus I could probably do another hour or so here. Um, we'll see, and hopefully I don't have to do a mad scramble and a mad dash with towels and a shop vac if stuff starts to flood. Which is why I want to come on here a little bit earlier. So Bill, it's even warmer where Bill is, heading out to play a sim round, play a few rounds. All right, I'm out here. See you, C-Drum. See you, Black Cloud. See you, Boogeyman Bill. Thanks for watching, like always. And we'll see. I'll either be... It's possible I hit some balls later. But if not, I'll probably be out there tomorrow. I want to hit balls, but my back is pretty sore, so... Just open the garage door. Let the temps even out. Later. Later, Gata. Later, Croc. Croc hater. Later, Gata. Croc hater. Yeah, I was thinking about doing that too, Bill, though. Open up the garage and let the warm air in. I don't know. I have to go check the thermometer, what it actually is in the garage. It's probably significant. It's probably like 15 degrees colder than what it is outside. But we'll see. I may be back later. See you guys on the next one.